Hello Year 1 and welcome to your science learning for today. So your mission objectives for science are to understand what a plant needs in order to grow well, okay? And then you've got some rocket words there which just are your key words. So plant, soil, water, light and seed. So hopefully you'll have more of an understanding of what those are and what they mean at the end of this lesson. Your scientific skill is to observe closely to see how plants grow in different conditions. So that's almost your test that you're going to do if you're able to at home. So have a look at this film, okay, this little clip. What is the plant doing? What is this plant doing? And describe what is happening. So you can write this down as you're watching. You want to pause it, replay it, and watch it more than once, but you can make notes or share with somebody what the plant is doing and describe what is happening. Pause here to do that. So hopefully you can see that the plant, okay, the seeds are growing. Okay, they're growing through and out of the soil, and you can see there the plant. So your 5 words and meanings to learn. So you've got plant, which is a living thing that grows in soil, has leaves and roots, and needs water and light from the sun to live. You've then got soil, which is the top layer of the earth. Water, a clear liquid that falls from the sky as rain and is very important for animals and plants, or animal plant life. You've then got light, which is brightness that comes from the sun and electrical devices that allows things to be seen. Seed, a small round or oval object produced by a plant. When planted, a new plant can grow. So they're your keywords, your rocket words. So when you say the word plant, you think of something like a green bush, or write down. Okay. What do you think straight away when we say plants? What does that mean to you? What do you know about plants? And then tell your partner or somebody at home or write it down 2 things about plants. Okay, can you do that? 2 things about plants. Okay, so just like you and me, plants need different things to stay healthy and to grow. So what is keeping this plant healthy? What does that plant need to keep healthy? And remember, pause at any point that you need to through this. So plants need soil, okay, because this is where they get their nutrients from. These nutrients help the plant to grow. So just like we need food, okay, this is the plant's food. And they take all the nutrients out of the soil through the roots, and then that helps them to grow. So just like we have food and that helps us to grow big and strong too. Light is also important for a plant because light helps plants grow and plants make their own food. You'll learn more about that through the years. We won't go into that in too much detail just at the moment. So in order for the plant to grow strong, it needs to grow in a suitable temperature. Okay, so that means it cannot be too hot, so in direct sunlight, or somewhere too warm, but also if it's too cold, it cannot grow. So it has to be the right conditions. Okay, so that's why here we start to see things growing in spring because it's not too hot and it's not too cold. So plants need water. Plants, you may have mentioned some of these things in the 2 things that you know about plants when you were sharing that or writing that down. But without water, the plant will die. Have you ever watered plants at home? What do you use to water your plants at home? And again, this is just like us. We need water. We have to drink in order to keep ourselves healthy and to keep ourselves alive. We're living things too, just like plants. So can you remember what a plant needs in order to stay healthy and grow? Can you remember those things we discussed? Use this time here to pause to tell somebody or write that down or record it in a way that you would like to, whether you draw it. That's fine as well. So we live in a world full of plants. Some plants grow really big, like this is a Californian redwood tree, which grows really, really big. And you can see the person there, that's how big the tree is. You can really see that there and how tall they grow. Other plants are so tiny. So we can get tiny plants here. This one is called duckweed, and it grows in water, in still water, and it grows really fast. It spreads really quickly, rapidly, and it's really small. So it looks like tiny green specks in the water. So you can see here, tiny, tiny little ones. And another name for this is called the water lentil, okay, because it is really small and flat, just like lentils. So there are thousands of different plants, kinds of plants that grow all around the world. So some in different countries and different places, you'll see different plants and different flowers that grow, and that's just because of the climate, so the conditions and the weather, so whether it's hot, whether it's cold, what the soil's like, whether it's a desert, okay. So some plants can grow in really unlikely places, and this is because they've changed to survive in these places. So some plants, such as tropical tropical orchids, only grow in steamy jungles. So you can see here that they need that heat and they need that humidity, okay, to grow. And those sorts of plants, that tropical orchid would not grow somewhere like here because we don't have that heat, that climate here. So where are we? Surely nothing can grow here. So have a look at this picture. Hopefully you've noticed that it's a desert. So it says here, surely nothing can grow here in the desert. So do you know any plants that could survive in the desert, in that really hot and dry climate where it doesn't really rain very much? So plants, hopefully you've answered that, but plants like cacti grow where it is very hot and dry. And they have tough skin and prickles. They don't need a lot of water to grow, and that's why they grow well in a desert. So weeds grow in the crack of pavements just as easily as in fields and gardens. So that's something we have grow here. We have in your gardens, in your pavements or the paths, you might see weeds growing. Sometimes it can be very annoying when plants grow in the cracks of pavements, and it can take a long time to remove them because they grow really quickly and they grow everywhere. So some of your parents, if they're really into gardening, they might pull out the weeds in their garden, and you might help them with that. So that's something that does grow here, unlike the cacti and the orchid. So we can live without plants in our world. So plants are food. They are used to make paper for writing and drawing, as we know. We talked about that when we talk about trees. Timber for building, housings. And we spoke last time about materials, and we said that cotton, it originally comes from a plant. So cotton for clothes. So plants are really important to how we live and, to create a lot of our objects that we use today. So it says here, think scientifically. So be a scientist. Now, can you identify the plant's stem, flowers and leaves? So you might have learned a little bit about that when you were in foundation or in early years, or you might have learned a bit of that at home. But have a think. Can you remember? Can you identify the plant's stem, flowers and leaves? Okay, and then have a think. Where are the plant's roots? And what do they do? And I did mention that a little earlier, so you can always go back and have a little look when I mentioned that at the beginning. So think about the plant's roots and what they do. So here they're just talking about plants. All it is they're discussing how plants are really important, not only for us, but also for certain animals and flowers as well. So if you think of like bees, so they're really good for our environment. So moving on to the mission assignment now. So we live in a world full of plants, and all plants and flowers come in different shapes and different sizes. And they're very, very important, as we spoke about, to us and for what we use in daily life, and for objects and things. They all have different uses. So they need the same things as us. Okay, they're a living thing. They need the same things. So they need water, they need warmth and sunlight from the sun, and they need nutrients from the air as well. So it's just like us, we're needing food, needing water, and also it's good for us to have some sunlight and get outside for some fresh air. But all plants and trees and flowers, they all come in different shapes and sizes, and they all need those things. They all need nutrients, water, warmth and sunlight from the sun. Okay, they're really key. So when they grow, we get lots from them. So we spoke about paper, we spoke about the cotton, food, for like fruits that grows obviously for plants. So they're very important and we get lots from them. Now I'm going to move a bit further along. So this mission assignment now this is your handout. You can see there. So there's a handout here which I'll attach to the Sway, but also put onto the website so you can download as well if you want to. And on this handout, what you need to do, your task is you need to label the plants. So you've got some boxes there that are empty, that are blank, and at the bottom you can see there is a word bank. Okay, and they're the words that you can use. So you can cross them out as you write that word in the place that you need and then cross it out. So use that word bank to help you. Okay, it's there to help you. Then once you have completed that, now this is only if you can do this at home. If you cannot, then if you do that, just that first handout, that's absolutely fine. But if you do have the resources and the facilities for this, let me just move you along. And there is another handout. And this handout is if asking you, or if you can you grow some cress seeds? So you need to water them. Make sure that they're in a light spot, a sunny spot, but not in too direct sunlight. And then soil, or you can use like cotton wool. That works really well as well. So you're going to have one pot or one pot of cress seeds that you're going to make sure that has water, sun, and soil, or your cotton, it can be your soil. And then you're going to plant another lot of cress seeds in another cup. And then you're going to take one of those conditions away. Just one. So you can either not water it, you can put it somewhere in really dark or in a dark place, or you can make sure that it doesn't have any cotton wool or any soil. So just take away one of those, and then you're going to look at the different cress seeds and watch them grow, and then look at them, discuss them and how they've changed. Okay, is there any change in them? Which one looks healthier? And discuss that. Okay. And you can take photos of these and send those in. That'd be amazing. Okay. And then move along a bit further. So here's some questions here. So what conditions will you change for your test? So remember, you just want to change one of them. How do you think the change will affect the growth of the seed? So how will it affect its growth? How will it help it grow, or will it stop it from growing? And why do you think it will be different? That's really, really important that you can explain your prediction. So prediction is just having a guess. So why do you think it will be different? So why do you think one will grow better than the other? Can you explain that? Okay, and if you can write that down, tell somebody, that would be brilliant. And then here I've got a little video I'm going to play for you, which will show you a video of the cress seeds or a plant growing in, it's like sped up for you, because sometimes we wouldn't see it grow as quickly as this. So this is a video where it's been sped up like a time lapse for you to see. So you can see it grows out, up, and then the leaves then open. It's a really, really lovely video. And if you go onto YouTube, you can also see lots of these sorts of videos of things growing, plants and flowers growing. It's really nice to see them grow. You can see here again, different angle growing up and opening out. Okay. So your mission assignments, your task is growing seeds under different conditions. That's if you can do this activity, and then observe closely and evaluate the growth of the plants. And here's a suggestion to use cress seeds, but you might want to use something else. It's completely up to you, whatever you can do or use. And if you cannot do this, do not worry. Just have a little look on YouTube at some videos of cress seeds growing. You can always type in about the different conditions. So cress seeds growing with, or cress seeds with no water, and have a little look that way. That's absolutely fine. So think about what conditions you will change your test. How will the changes affect the growth of the seeds, and what might be different? Why might it be different? And here again, it's just the key words. So can you remember what a plant is? So it's a living thing that grows in soil, has leaves and roots, and needs water and light from the sun to live. Soil, the top layer of the earth. Water, a clear liquid that falls from the sky as rain and is very important for animal and plant life. Light is brightness that comes from the sun, and electrical devices, so like a light switch or a lamp, and that will allow things to be seen. And then we've got seed, which is a small round or oval object produced by a plant. When planted, a new plant grows. So that's what a seed is. A plant grows from a seed. So there's your rocket word, your keywords. And that is the end of your science learning. So I look forward to seeing some of your labelling of your plants, some of your plants growing, and I look forward to some of your predictions and for you to tell me what happens as well. Enjoy!